Hello there, and a very warm welcome to all of you tuning in, whether you're a new face or a familiar one. We're thrilled to have you here with us on this journey. We'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support. It's your enthusiasm and curiosity that fuels our exploration into the unique, the unusual, and the unexplained. Today, we're venturing into a fascinating corner of the internet, the realm of glitch in the matrix stories from Reddit. For those of you who might not be familiar with this concept, let's briefly touch upon what it means. Glitch in the matrix is a term that's been borrowed from the popular sci-fi movie, The Matrix. It's used to describe experiences that simply don't add up, instances where reality seems to have taken an unexpected twist or turn. These are stories that challenge our understanding of the world around us, leaving us questioning the very nature of reality. Reddit, being the diverse and vibrant community that it is, has become a hub for individuals across the globe to share these peculiar experiences. People from all walks of life come together to share, speculate, and marvel at these intriguing tales of the inexplicable. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to sift through some of the most captivating glitch in the matrix stories that Reddit has to offer, diving deep into the narratives, and even taking a look at some top-rated comments for additional perspectives. But before we dive into these mind-bending tales, we'd like to take a moment to encourage you, our amazing viewers, to help our channel grow. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and we can only achieve this with your support. So if you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing. Every single subscription goes a long way in helping us create more of the content that you love. With that being said, we're ready to embark on this exciting journey. Stay tuned for some truly mind-boggling tales straight from the Reddit community. Let's dive into the rabbit hole, shall we? Our first story is titled The Unending Staircase, shared by Reddit user Time Travel Mishap. So here's how it goes. Time Travel Mishap tells us about a seemingly ordinary day that took a turn towards the extraordinary. They were staying in a hotel for a business trip. Nothing too flashy, just your average budget accommodation. After a long day of meetings, they decided to turn in early. They left the elevator and began ascending the stairs to their room on the 4th floor. Now, here's where things start to get strange. They climbed one flight, then another and another, but the 4th floor never appeared. They continued climbing, expecting to see their floor at any moment, but it didn't show up. They climbed for what felt like an eternity, the same pattern of stairs repeating over and over. Confused and a bit creeped out, they decided to head back down, only to find themselves back on the ground floor within a minute. They tried the stairs again with the same result. The 4th floor was nowhere to be found. It was as if they were trapped in some kind of loop, an unending staircase that defied the laws of physics. In a last-ditch attempt, they opted for the elevator. And lo and behold, the 4th floor was right where it should be. They got out, found their room, and tried to make sense of what had just happened. But there was no logical explanation. The staircase had become an endless loop, a glitch in the matrix that had turned a routine walk into a journey into the unknown. What's even more baffling is that the next day, the staircase was back to normal. They could go up and down as they pleased, with no hint of the previous night's events. It was as if the unending staircase had never existed, but Time Travel Mishap knew what they had experienced. It was real as the room they were standing in. And that, my friends, is the story of the unending staircase. A tale that blurs the line between reality and the inexplicable, between the mundane and the bizarre. It's one of those stories that makes you question your understanding of the world, that makes you wonder if there's more to reality than meets the eye. So, what do you think? Could this really be a glitch in the matrix, a tear in the fabric of reality itself? Or was it just a trick of the mind, a hallucination brought on by fatigue and stress? Whatever the case may be, one thing's for sure. It's a story that's going to stick with us for a long time. What an eerily fascinating account. Let's have a look at some of the top-rated comments on this post. Now let's see what the Reddit community had to say about the unending staircase. User Quantum Leap 42 says, "This story gave me chills. It reminds me of that endless staircase in Super Mario 64. Maybe you've stumbled into a real-life video game glitch." Up next, we have a comment from The Spooky Truth, who writes, "I've read about places like this. They're called impossible spaces. They defy the laws of physics. Quite chilling." Meanwhile, user skeptic but intrigued muses. Could it be an optical illusion or a trick of the mind? Our brains can play strange tricks on us when we're tired or stressed. And finally, light bulb moment suggests maybe the staircase was built like an Escher painting. It only appears to be infinite. An architectural marvel for sure. Well, those were some intriguing thoughts. Onwards to our next story. Our next story, The Man Who Wasn't There, comes from the Reddit user Glitchy Matrix. Now let's dive right in. Glitchy Matrix begins their tale on an ordinary afternoon. They were settling in at their favorite coffee shop, the smell of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. As they looked around, they spotted a man sitting alone, engrossed in a book. He was an ordinary man, with nothing particularly remarkable about his appearance. But there was something about him that was oddly captivating. The man glanced up from his book and locked eyes with Glitchy Matrix. There was a moment, a strange, unexplainable moment, where it seemed as if the world stood still. Then, just as suddenly, the moment passed, and the man returned to his book, seemingly oblivious to the peculiar exchange. Now here's where things take a turn for the bizarre. Glitchy Matrix blinked, and in that split second, the man was gone. Not just moved to a different spot, but completely vanished. The chair where he had sat was empty, his book left behind, open to a page that was still being turned by a non-existent breeze. Confused and a little shaken, Glitchy Matrix asked the barista about the man. The barista, puzzled, claimed that no one had been sitting there all day. The book, it had been left behind by a customer the previous day. Glitchy Matrix was left baffled. They knew what they had seen, or at least what they thought they had seen. But the evidence, or rather the lack of it, painted a different picture. The man was not there. He had never been there. But if that was the case, then how could Glitchy Matrix explain the eye contact, the sudden stillness of the world, the lingering scent of the man's cologne? Were these all figments of their imagination? Or had they experienced a glitch in the Matrix, a hiccup in the fabric of reality? Glitchy Matrix ended their story with a question, a plea for understanding. They asked if anyone else had experienced something similar, if anyone could shed some light on the strange event. They were left grappling with the unsettling reality that sometimes things happen that defy explanation, that challenge our perception of the world, and leave us questioning the very fabric of our existence. A truly uncanny experience, wouldn't you agree? Let's see what the community had to say. Our third story for today, The Vanishing Coffee, is shared by Reddit user Coffee Lover. Let's dive into this intriguing tale. Coffee Lover starts their story on a calm Sunday morning. They were sitting on their patio, enjoying the soothing sounds of nature and sipping on their freshly brewed cup of coffee. As they set their cup down on the table to read their morning paper, they noticed a bird perched on a nearby tree. The bird's song was so melodious that it captivated Coffee Lover's attention completely. After a few moments of listening to the bird, they turned their gaze back to their coffee, only to find the cup missing. Startled, they looked around, thinking maybe they had misplaced it. But the cup was nowhere to be found. The table was dry, showing no signs of a spill. The cup had simply vanished. Coffee Lover, puzzled, went inside to ask their spouse if they had taken the cup, but they had been in the shower the entire time. Returning to the patio, they found no traces of the missing cup. It was as if it had never been there. But Coffee Lover distinctly remembered the warmth of the cup in their hands, the rich aroma of the coffee, the taste of it on their lips. They were left bewildered, questioning their own memory. Had they imagined the whole thing? Or had their coffee cup truly vanished into thin air? Coffee Lover ends their story with a sense of perplexity, wondering if anyone else had experienced such an inexplicable event. A baffling tale indeed. Let's see what our community has to say about this. Now, let's delve into the Reddit community's reaction to The Man Who Wasn't There. User Time Traveler _2024 comments, "Wow, this story gave me chills. It reminds me of when I thought I saw someone who wasn't really there. Makes you question reality, doesn't it?" Next, we have Matrix Glitcher, who says, "I've heard similar stories before. It's fascinating how our brains can play tricks on us. Or maybe it's not a trick at all. Who knows?" Philosophical Phantom adds, "This story seems like something out of a sci-fi movie. But if it's true, then it's mind-boggling. It's like a ripple in the fabric of reality." Lastly, Reality Bender notes, stories like these make me wonder if we're living in a simulation. It's eerie, yet intriguing. I can't wait to hear more. Those were some insightful comments. Let's move on to our final story. Now, before we move on to our final story, let's take a brief detour and explore another eerie tale that fits perfectly into our theme of glitches in the Matrix. This is the story of the Phantom Text. Our storyteller for this segment is Reddit user Ghostly Messages. They recount an incident where they received a text message from an unknown number. The message was cryptic, reading, "Remember, time is a circle." Puzzled, Ghostly Messages decided to respond asking, "Who is this?" However, before they could receive a reply, the message thread disappeared from their phone. They checked their call logs, their blocked list, and even their phone's memory, but there was no trace of the conversation. It was as if the text message had never existed. Spooked, Ghostly Messages decided to change their phone number. But a few days later, they received the exact same text from a different unknown number. This time, they took a screenshot as proof, but once again, the message thread disappeared. To this day, they have no explanation for the phantom text. Was it a glitch in the phone's software, or was it something more mysterious? This story leaves us with more questions than answers, but one thing is certain. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes reality can be stranger than fiction. Stay tuned for our final story, coming up next. Before we move on to our final story, we have a small request. We've been journeying through these glitches in the Matrix together, and it's been an absolute blast. But we need your help to keep the adventure going. We're working towards reaching a milestone of 1,000 subscribers. Your support means the world to us, and every single subscription helps us grow and continue to bring you these fascinating stories. Think of it as your ticket to more amazing tales from the mysterious corners of the internet. And if you're already subscribed, we can't thank you enough. Your continued support is vital to our channel's growth. Remember, subscribing is completely free and it just takes a moment. Click that subscribe button and become a part of our growing community. Make sure you don't miss out on any future glitches in the Matrix. Thank you for your continued support. Now, onto our final story. Before we delve into our final tale, let's take a detour into the uncanny world of our feline friends. The Time-Traveling Cat is a story shared by Reddit user Cat Whisperer. They begin the narrative by describing their cat, Whiskers, as a typical lazy feline. However, they soon notice something strange about Whiskers. One moment, she'd be lounging on the living room sofa, and the next she'd appear in the upstairs bedroom, all within the blink of an eye. Cat Whisperer was initially puzzled, attributing these occurrences to the cat's agility and speed. But the day they saw Whiskers enter the kitchen and then found her upstairs in the next instant, they started to question if it was something more. They jokingly referred to Whiskers as their time-traveling cat, but deep down, they wondered if they were dealing with a glitch in the Matrix. Cat Whisperer's story, although slightly amusing, adds another layer to the mystery of these seemingly inexplicable occurrences. Could Whiskers really be teleporting, or is there a more rational explanation? As we move on to our next story, keep Whiskers in mind. She might be onto something we humans are yet to comprehend. Now, let's check out the time slip. Our final story for today, the time slip, was shared by Reddit user Paranormal Pioneer. So, let's dive right in. Paranormal Pioneer begins their account by describing an ordinary Tuesday morning. They were on their usual commute to work, driving down the familiar suburban streets lined with neatly trimmed hedges and picket fences. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, a typical day, or so it seemed. As they approached the intersection of Elm and Oak, something peculiar happened. The radio, which had been playing a lively pop song, suddenly went quiet. The birdsong ceased abruptly, and the world around them seemed to slow down. Paranormal Pioneer, understandably confused, stopped the car and looked around, trying to make sense of the uncanny silence. What happened next, in their own words, was like something out of a science fiction movie. They found themselves in the same spot, but the surroundings had drastically changed. The familiar suburban scene had been replaced by open farmland as far as the eye could see. The houses, the streets, the meticulously manicured lawns, all were gone without a trace. The clock in the car read the same time, but the world outside was unrecognizable. Paranormal Pioneer was in a state of shock and disbelief, their heart pounding in their chest. After what felt like an eternity, but was probably no more than a few seconds, reality snapped back into place. The farmland vanished, replaced by the familiar suburban streetscape. The radio sprang back to life mid-song, the birds resumed their melody, and life continued as if nothing had happened. Paranormal Pioneer ended their post by expressing their confusion and fear. They had no explanation for what had happened. Was it a hallucination, a glitch in the matrix, or had they genuinely experienced a slip in time? In their own words, "I've spent countless hours trying to rationalize it, but I can't. I know what I saw and it felt too real to be a dream or a trick of the mind. What happened that day has shaken me to my core. If anyone has experienced anything similar or has any insights, please share." A baffling tale indeed. Let's check out the top-rated comments. Now let's delve into the Reddit community's reaction to the time slip. User timetraveler_2024 wrote, "This story sends chills down my spine. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi novel. Makes you wonder about the mysteries of time and space, doesn't it?" Next, we have a comment from Matrix_Glitcher, who said, "I've heard similar stories before. Time slips are more common than you'd think. It's fascinating and terrifying at the same time." User Skeptic101 provided a different perspective. "While it's a great story, I think there might be a logical explanation. Maybe it was just a vivid dream or a trick of the mind." And finally, Reality_Checkmate added, "Whether it's a glitch or not, this story is a reminder that there's so much about the universe we don't understand. It's humbling, really." Those were some thought-provoking comments. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the glitches in the Matrix. That brings us to the end of today's video. We've journeyed together through the twists and turns of these uncanny tales, each one a thread woven into the complex tapestry of our shared reality. It's been an absolute pleasure having you along for the ride. Your time and support mean the world to us. Every click, every view, every share propels us forward, allowing us to continue bringing you these peculiar narratives, these glitches in the matrix of our everyday lives. The community that we're building here, with each story and each discussion, is truly something special. Perhaps you've had your own experiences that defy explanation. Maybe there's a story tucked away in the recesses of your memory, a moment that left you questioning the very fabric of reality. Or perhaps you've simply found yourself lost in thought, pondering the stories we've shared today. Whatever your experience, we'd love to hear about it. The comment section is your stage, your platform, to share your thoughts, your theories, your own tales of the inexplicable. Remember, each of us has a unique perspective, a unique lens through which we experience the world, and it's through sharing these experiences that we can challenge our perceptions, broaden our understanding, and perhaps, just perhaps, catch a glimpse of the true nature of reality. As we part ways for now, we want to extend our deepest thanks to you, both new and returning viewers. Your continued support is what fuels this journey into the unexplained, into the realm where the ordinary and the extraordinary blur into one. Remember, reality is often stranger than fiction, so keep those minds open, keep those eyes peeled for the strange, the unexplained, the utterly baffling. Stay curious, my friends. And until next time, take care.